Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Time Krafts. I wanted to come to you this morning and show you how to make some mermaid leather earrings. Also applying HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl, to the back of the leather. So a lot of times the faux leather, while one side of it is really pretty, and that's the part obviously you're going to see the most, but the back can be pretty boring. Sometimes it doesn't cut cleanly or gives us little burrs off the edges. And applying HTV to the back of it can really make the pop of color, plus it helps it cut nicer and just makes it a touch thicker and easier to work with. So today I've chosen a iridescent scale faux leather because I thought that would be really cool with mermaid earrings. That is from the Ribbon Boutique, purchased at Hobby Lobby. And then I have this gorgeous rose gold ultra glitter heat transfer vinyl, purchased from craftables.com. I'll provide their website in the description down below. So you're going to turn over your faux leather and place your HTV on top of it and kind of line it up. I've already pre-cut mine from both of the rolls. And then you're going to take your heat press and give it a quick iron down just to get it to stick a little bit. Then before I give it a really good iron, I like to take my Teflon sheet and place it over just to make sure I don't scorch this. This Teflon sheet also comes from Craftables. And now is when I can really apply my pressure and get it on there really well. I'm applying quite a bit of pressure, kind of pressing about as hard as I can. This can also be done with a full-size heat press, clamshell style, or even one of the Cricut larger ones. For these smaller pieces, I just find it easy to get out my little tiny Cricut mini heat press. Go back and forth a few times so you know it's on there really well. And set that aside. Take your Teflon sheet off. And then from here you just want to pull back your clear lining, if you can find a good corner to pull it from. We won't need this, and I find it easier to pull now before I've cut my pieces. Otherwise I'm trying to pull it off of each individual piece. It's just easier to pull it off as the one piece, and that can be thrown away. And then I give it one more good iron to make sure I'm really good and stuck. Again, I'm giving it quite a bit of pressure here. I don't want these to peel off after I've made the earrings. See, now I've got a good adhesion to it. It's not perfectly on there square, and that's okay because I cut this slightly larger than I need for my actual earrings. So one side's going to be pretty, and so's the other side. Now from here, I take my Cricut mat. I'm going to use the purple one for this project because it is the strong grip. My mat is well loved, so it may not be as sticky as it should be. You can choose which side you want to put down at this point. When I use smooth HTV, which is not glitter, I usually put the HTV down because it's a nice smooth surface to actually adhere to the mat. But I think today my smoother surface is actually the leather side, so I'm going to leave it this way. Keep in mind, depending on which way you put your material down will determine whether or not you need to mirror your image on your screen. For what I'm doing, it doesn't matter whether my earrings are mirrored or not mirrored because they'll look good either way. And then because my mat is kind of well worn, I just like to take a little tape. I happen to have washi tape handy, not masking tape, so I'm just going to use washi tape. And just tape down the corners to ensure that it does not move around while I'm cutting. Nothing worse than having your project move halfway through and now you've wasted your time and you've wasted your materials. Actually, I just realized that I don't quite have my HTV all the way down on this, so I'm going to flip it around to make sure that it goes all the way to the corner. And we'll tape that back down there and tape this side down. And depending on how sticky your mat is, you'll decide how much tape you need. I think that'll be enough for mine because this side of my mat is still pretty sticky. I tend to use the one corner the most. Then I'm just going to put it into my Cricut Maker. And I'm going to choose my faux leather setting and tell it to cut. Now we'll just wait for that to go ahead and cut. So when we're done cutting, an important step is before you press any buttons up here on the machine, just gently lift the corner of your leather and make sure that it actually cut through. So mine hasn't cut through on the first pass, so I'm going to push it back down, and whenever unloading the mat, I'm just going to tell it to cut again. This is kind of thicker faux leather, plus I've added the layer HTV, so it might take a little bit to get through it. You can play around with your settings and find out perhaps you just need to cut it on a thicker leather setting, or you know, just play around with which one you think will cut this best when you have time to kind of decide and have a little material that you could waste. I'm going to follow the same process again and make sure that I've cut through. And because again, this is super thick, it's starting to cut through, but I don't think it's done the entire thing. So I'm going to just give it one more pass. I have not unloaded my mat still, so I'm just going to press cut again. All right, I think we should be good this time. Yes, see how that's pulling up cleanly? Even if there's a couple of spots that maybe they're not perfect, you can always snip with scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat now. Just peel my tape off the corners here. I save them for the next time. And then gently pull this away. And I'm definitely a scrap saver, so all of this, that's a good couple more pairs of earrings, or at least one more pair of earrings, so I'm going to save that. I'm just going to pull this off, and it looks like I'll just have a little bit of snip work to do for my actual mermaid tail, maybe not. Just a little bit there. And this happens sometimes, again, because the leather is so thick. The lines are already kind of there for you. You just might have to give it the final little trim. Like that. Then I should have one more piece over here. And I could have done one more pass, and that probably would have fixed this. I really love really sharp pointed scissors. They could do such an amazing job on these more intricate projects. I'm just looking for my cut lines that the Cricut's already given me, and I'm just going to follow them with the scissors here. Like that. And trim off my excess. And then you are good to go. Here's, oh, I have just a little burr up here still. Again, a lot of times if you don't use the glitter on the back, this cuts a lot easier and a lot cleaner. The glitter is very thick to begin with. And there you have an adorable little mermaid tail earring. Isn't that cute? And you can decide when you make your earrings, you can decide, do you want to make it from this side or do you want to let the glittery side show? It's up to you. If you want to know how I made the actual mermaid earring, check out one of my other videos. It will show you how to create this to begin with. Have a great day, guys.